Hi everyone. Today is Monday, October the 2nd. I'm reaching out to you from the city of Glasgow in Scotland, and it's not raining, so that's really nice. I want to start with the dollar. It is screaming higher, and it's going to cause a lot of problems. But one of the things that's pretty important for us to realize is that it's going to really start weighing on the markets if it just keeps running up the rails. All right, and so this is something that I want you to watch. It's the DXY. Now you can look at something like the TLT, and you can see that as long as it heads lower, that usually means that rates are going to be higher. Everyone is betting on the other side of that because they anticipate some kind of crash and they think it's going to be a political move, XYZ. I don't know what's going to happen here. I really don't. But what I do know is this. People that are bottom picking here, this is not how a formation looks when it's bottoming, right? Remember, always, the current candle, 2 candles to the left. Ask yourself, have I stopped heading lower? Have I bounced into resistance? And have I pulled back and made a higher low? And that's an NO. No way. We haven't done anything like that whatsoever. So just look at what the market is telling you and then watch for the changes. If they don't come, just listen to what the market is telling you instead of what you think or what pundits are telling you is going to happen. Listen, at the very beginning of the year, everybody said, hey, listen, not everybody, most everybody, hey, listen, charts are going to roll over, it's going to be terrible, blah, 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 blah. And we've done the job of essentially running up the rails for 2023, right? And so now everybody's saying, oh, this is the fourth quarter bounce. Well, they were wrong here, thinking the market was going to roll over. What are they going to do here? Listen, here's a very big thing. Today was the first trading day of the month, and look at what happened. We tried to get above the close of the prior month, and we could not. We dipped, and then we pulled back up, but we are still below the close by a couple of pennies, right? Now, take a look at what the market is showing us here, right? Take a look what's happening. Oil, people are taking a little bit of profit. It's just run up like mad. And we know that if these inputs get bigger and bigger, it's going to be terrible. They've rotated right back into tech because they're thinking, hey, listen, fourth quarter, things are going to move to the upside. This is seasonality. We're going to play it again. And so everybody's piling in here. But it's any man's game right now, folks. And the big thing to watch is how well do we get up over these important levels. So let's take a look at SPY. And what we'll see, I'm going to do a video in the morning as well, but I just want to get a recap here of what we're looking for. We're still underneath the close of the prior week / end of the month. That's a big deal, folks. So getting up over 428, that's going to be the line in the sand. Otherwise, the bounces are going to be sell zones. We gap down, we're trying to move up. I think we're caught sideways until the pennies drop, whatever they happen to be. Whatever they happen to be, they could be a million different things. Right now, how do we look at the trade for, wait a second, what time is it right now? 9, my Okay, it's 10 o'clock my time, so it's 5 o'clock your time. Okay, so the markets won't open for another hour. And so the key thing to watch is what's going to happen here. Are we going to be able to hold the opening tick of the month? Right? Bounces, looking like sell zones. If the pullback comes and we can hold that 425, it's going to be a bullish day or a bullish overnight, right? That's all we're looking at. As long as we hold the monthly open towards the prior day's low, that would have been Friday's low, we are looking at upside draft into resistance. I still think the bounces sell. We are at critical mass here, and I do believe that we are in a rotation downward. All right, looking at the Qs have held, right? This bounce action really has held. Now, again, let's take a look at where this chart is. Remember, everybody's rotating back into the leaders because they're thinking it's going to be a fourth quarter move to the upside. And so notice these guys did accomplish the close of the month. But listen, the Qs can't move by themselves anymore. Interest rates are too high. They have to have other things coming in as a catalyst. And notice the fade here right at our 357, right? Today, super interesting. We know this base is 357. We know this high is right around the 360 area. My question is, what does the formation tell me? Listen, if I have a downward moving average and I bounce up above it and I pull back, I must break to the north, else I'm going to head lower. Okay, so do or die here, the 357, anything that pulls back into the 357, it's going to tell us what's going on. Otherwise, price action is going to continue north. I still think that it is going to be a sell. The bounce, this gap down here from 364 is going to give us downside rotation. That's my thought there for that one. IWM, a lot of people put, IWM. A lot of people, boy, I'm glad they turned that horrible music down they had in this lobby. Okay, IWM, a lot of people were calling for this breakdown. It is. Small caps are moving to the downside, just not moving as fast as I thought we would. This was a very high volume day. Let's see when it occurred. 313. That's very, very interesting. So it came down into that zone today, closed right off of it, but again, that's a lower low with a very steep slope. I expect that bounces are going to be sell zones here continually. Let's take a look at gold. Gold, I started with the dollar. This is a train wreck right here. And as long as the dollar keeps moving up, gold is going to move down. Here's the weird thing. Let's go to Bitcoin futures. Please and thank you. Don't we have Bitcoin futures here anymore? Yes, there we go. Bitcoin. All right, so we have Bitcoin futures. Huge bounce today. I do not know why this bounces. Maybe Switzerland is coming out with some kind of coin that might have had something to do with it, boosting this one. I don't know, but again, I find this to be a very unusual move. I'm really not sure it holds. All right, everybody's looking at Bitcoin. Everybody's excited about Bitcoin. It came off of this 25,000. I don't know. I think this is I think 30,000 is a threshold right now. So any bounces into that area should give us a little bit of a pullback. Just my thought. All right, for the ES, right, we know that this area, we gapped up and then faded, right? Closing first day underneath this zone. Look at where it rejected, 43.50. It's going to be our line in the sand here in terms of saying, hey, can we get up over this 43.55? If we can, we're going to move to 43.83. I'm just not sure we can, not at this juncture. I don't know. I think a lot of people knew seasonality began the month here, so there was a lot of impetus to buy, and it faded off the ledge right from the open. It was just a very strange pattern overall, but not a strong one for sure. This one, of course, it's the only one that's lifting, and we can see why, right? If we go to that heat map that I showed us at the very, very beginning, this is what they're looking at. A pretty nice move from the close of Friday to here, but these wicks tell us that it's much better to buy the dip than to buy the breakout. All right, so you want to be super careful about that cross current for sure. I would wait for the dips if you're going to take a long, and then I would anticipate that right around this 15,050 area, we're going to bump into some sellers, right? That's exactly what I'm staring down. Tomorrow morning, I should have more clarity on levels and such, and we'll get after it then. All right, take care, everyone.